It's me, Ryan.T here, and I'm gonna review Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Alright guys, before we get started, like every single new movie review that I do, I'm gonna try to keep it short, sweet, simple, and to the motherfucking point. Alright guys, let's get into it. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was probably one of the most riskiest animated films that I saw this year, and I'm happy to actually say that this risk that Sony took actually paid off.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
This film could have became a huge mess of a film with a whole bunch of things going on and people not understanding, like, what? There's more than one Spider-Man and blah 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 blah. Oh, and if you didn't know, this film, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, is about Miles Morales and not your usual Spider-Man that people are used to, Peter Parker. It's about this guy. And I found that was very refreshing, that to watch / see / hear all the five senses, a Spider-Man story that wasn't really about Peter Parker. Yes, this guy comes out in it, but it's mostly about this guy. And it's pretty cool. I feel like a lot of younger audiences and I mean even older people, as like myself, are gonna really relate to this film, especially the Miles Morales character, because it's very much a coming-of-age story, and a story of where you see this teenager. Miles is like 15 years old in this film. You see him have to grow up really quickly, and you see him kind of step up to the plate and, you know, show the adults, like, hey man, us kids can, well, not us kids, I'm not a fucking kid anymore, but, you know, basically saying, hey, us kids, we can fucking do it too. And I like that the film drives home the point of anybody could wear the mask. Anybody can be a hero. You don't have to be a superhero to necessarily be a hero. So I love that a lot about the film. It had a very nice moral. And, oh god, was it aesthetically pleasing. I love when they would do shit like this, or Spider-Man would be walking and he'd be like, doing, they even did that. They did the Spider-Man 3 finger guns thing, and it was fucking hilarious. But again, going back to the style, like, certain characters would be doing certain things. Like, for example, Spider-Man Yor, this guy right here, he'd come out and he would like throw a punch, and then everything would be black and white. And then Peter Porker, aka Spider-Pig, would come out and everything would look very bright and cartoony. And it was just really cool. It had a lot of cool things like that. So aesthetically, this movie is so pleasing. And story-wise, it's a really fun story. Like I said, it's a coming-of-age story that is not centered around Peter Parker for a change, and centered around Miles Morales. And it shows him, again, you know, stepping up to the plate and coming into his own person. And so I really enjoyed that. Another positive thing about this film is the animation. I personally liked it a lot. I know a lot of people, after watching the trailers, were kind of like, oh, it looks real like glitchy and like 8-bit and shit like that. Well, that's the point. That's the point of it. They wanted to make it look as close to a live-action comic book as possible. And for all intents and purposes, it really looks like I'm watching a comic book come to life. It feels like a comic book. They even have like the inner monologue bubbles on the top for certain characters, and they even have like the thought bubbles that pop up over here. And I had such a fun time with this film. I don't really want to give a lot of the story away in this video, but I will tell you the story features about, I want to say, like 6 different Spider-Men, aka / Spider-Women in the story. So that's pretty cool to see. And I think some people may not like how they handled some of the villains in this film, but personally, I really like the way Kingpin looked. I like the way Scorpion looked. I like the way Tombstone looked, even though he really didn't have a whole lot to do in the film. So all of the kind of updated versions of these characters look really cool. I mean, to me they do. But I can see how some people won't like the updated version of these characters, or won't even like necessarily like the animation that this film does. But one thing I know everybody will be able to agree on is this is a really entertaining, really fun Spider-Man story that I think a lot of audiences are really gonna like. And me personally, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was super entertaining, aesthetically pleasing, and just fun. It was really funny too. There was a lot of fun, a lot of funny moments in the movie. So for that, guys, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Spider-Man, it's a fucking animated movie with a lot of heart, a lot of action, a lot of funny moments, and a lot of fan service, you know, for fans of the Spider-Man comics and films and TV shows. So guys, it's an 8 out of 10, and if you've seen Spider-Man, comment below and let me know what you thought about it, and also like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.